What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning on in. As you can see from the thumbnail and title of this video, we are going to do a full bag walkthrough. I'm going to do a what's in the bag for you on all of my play drivers, my long drivers, irons, wedges, putter, go through all the accessories, apparel, all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned. We're going to jump right into it. All right, so we're gonna start things off, look at all the clubs, and then jump into the bag where I keep certain accessories, stuff like that, what I use on the course, the range, and the grid. So starting off with the putter, this is a little bit of an interesting one. It's called the Arnold Palmer, the original. It's basically like a Phil Mickelson replica, just a butter knife little blade of a putter. I love looking down at it. It looks really sick to me. I'm a stylish kind of guy on the course form, not really function. I putt okay with it. It's not stellar. I'm sure if I got a putter fitting, there's something better suited to me out there, but it looks cool. And the reality of this situation is I don't practice putting. I'm a long driver. I don't really care what I do on the greens. So that's the putter. Let's get a closer look at this and then move on into the wedges. All right, so jumping into what is going to be my most used club in the bag, that is my 60 degree. It is a Titleist Vokey SM8. It has the Golf Pride mid-size grip on it, and the shafts I have in my 60, 56, and 52 in the Vokey is the KBS Tour V 110 stiff. This is what I was initially fitted into my last set of irons, and when I just got a new set of irons, I did get a new shaft. So when I upgrade the wedges, I'll be switching out the shaft to what I currently have in all the irons. But that's the wedges. Let's take a closer look at those and then jump into the irons next. Okay, and for those that follow my TikTok, I did an unboxing of these irons a few months back. I think it was like May. I have the Callaway Rogue ST Pro. I got these just when they kind of got released back. I got fit for them in February, ended up getting them in like May. It was a big wait for them, but I have the approach wedge at a 48 degree all the way to the 4-iron. They're all stock loft, stock lie angle, everything like that, stock length. I have the True Temper Dynamic Gold X100 stiff shaft in all of them. I hit them really well. I like them. It was between this and the Titleist 620 MB, and I absolutely loved the look of those Titleists. The only thing was these had 2 degrees stronger of lofts, so the spin was a little bit lower on these versus the Titleist, so that was the kind of determining factor of which ones I went with. So let's get a closer look at these irons, show you the goods on that, and then we'll move into my driving iron. All right, so up next on the list is the driving iron. This is the Srixon XV 2-iron. It's an 18 degree. It has the same shafts as my wedges because I got fit for those at the same time. So if I upgrade the 2-iron, I'd get the True Temper Dynamic Gold that are in the rest of my irons. It's got the same grip as everything as well. I love this thing. I hit it really well. I hit it way better than anything that I tried in the fitting for the 2-iron, and it sounds like a samurai sword when I hit it. I absolutely love the thing. So outside of drivers, because I'm a long driver, this would be my favorite club in the bag to hit. Let's get a closer look at this girl, and then we'll jump into 3-wood and drivers. Okay, so moving into my least used club in the bag, I've got the Callaway Maverick 3-wood. This just has the stock regular flex shaft in it. I found it on Facebook Marketplace used, so I just picked it up because it was cheap. I put the Golf Pride Tour Wrap 2G mid-size grip on it to match up with my drivers. I honestly don't hit this thing a ton. If I am, it's to do like trick shots, like big banana cuts, like that kind of thing. It's pretty rare. I'll even put the 3-wood in the bag, like if I'm playing tournament setting, because I have too many clubs anyway. But sometimes it's fun to hit if there's a howling wind and I can put a massive 70-yard slice on something. So that's the 3-wood. We don't need to really take too much of a closer look at that since I never hit it. Let's jump into the main part that I'm sure you're all watching this video for, and that is the drivers. Let's go. So let's kick things off with a driver I never hit anymore. Don't pay any attention to the Rogue ST head cover. I just like a cohesive look, so I've got all Callaway head covers. But this is the Crank Formula 11 LD. It's a 4-degree head. It initially came with the Fujikura Flywire shaft. I ditched that and put in a Patterson Kinetics LD30. That Flywire was a 2x4. It was just way too stiff to hit. So this LD30 is kind of what the majority of the PLDA guys use, or a lot of them anyway. So I still don't hit the head very well. I've hit it maybe 50 times, if that. I just don't like it. Some heads work for some people and they won't work for others. I know a lot of people that are successful hitting crank heads. I am not one of them. So I think I'm going to put the Flywire shaft back in this head, and then I'll be able to use my LD30 for something else. So that's this club. The rest of my drivers are all Callaway heads with shafts with Callaway tips. So they're all interchangeable between the shaft and head combinations. So let's look at all of those together right now. All right, so on to the first Callaway head with a different shaft combination. We have my Epic Max LS. That's a 9-degree head turned down to a 7. Being a lefty, I can only find a 9-degree head. That's the lowest lofted thing, and the tips only come in a -2. So 7 degrees is pretty much the lowest loft I can hit. This is a Rogue Aldila shaft. This is the extra stiff, so if I was in into wind condition, this is my lowest launching shaft that I've got. Every driver I have has the Golf Pride Tour Wrap 2G midsize in white for the grip. So let's put this driver away. We'll look at the next two. Okay, so let's move into my favorite shaft. This is my Patterson Kinetics LD10. So this thing is a super whippy wet noodle, very lightweight, awesome if you can create a lot of lag at the top. It can generate a lot of power potential. So I'd say this is my favorite shaft, very much for a high launch condition. So for downwind, this is excellent. The head that I have in that currently is my everyday gamer head if I was to go and play 18 holes. That's the Callaway Rogue ST Pro Triple Diamond. Just a disaster of a name. I don't know if I got that fully right, but the one before the Paradigm. So that's what I'm hitting with that head. Let's look at my LD30. I know I already have a different LD30, but this is my green one. Right now I have this as a practice head. I'm going through some swing changes right now, so I still have my Callaway Maverick into this. This is my most used shaft, I would say, and since I'm currently in a state of like missing golf balls with this new swing, I don't want to damage another head, so that's why we have the Callaway Maverick built into the Patterson Kinetics LD30, again, Golf Pride Tour Wrap 2G midsize in white. We have one more special driver head to look at that I rarely hit, but let's jump into that. So last but not least, my favorite head, the Callaway XR16 5-degree. All of my tips are a -2 strong left-handed tip, so I can turn these down 2 degrees, so that would be a 3-degree head. This is a little bit of a funny one though, because Callaway hasn't made a low-lofted left-handed head for about 10 years. I think this was the last one actually. So if I cave this face in, or if I wear it out to a point that it's not hittable anymore, the next lowest lofted head I can hit is 7 degrees. So from 3 to 7 is a massive gap. So really got to pick and choose the times where I hit this, and like we talked about, all of my shafts have Callaway tips in them, so based on certain wind or launch conditions that I want to achieve, I can put any one of my heads in any one of these shafts, whether it be the D10, the LD30, or my Rogue Aldila, to basically shot shape it exactly how I need. So that's a walkthrough of all of the drivers, the shaft and head combinations. Let's take a look inside the bag to show you what I walk around with on the course, the range, and the grid. So right now in the 2 side pouches, I have nothing in there because my bag stays stationary in my simulator all winter. In the summer months, if I'm doing charity long drive events or going to the course or doing a range session, anything like that, in this pocket, I'll put my iPad, flight scope, charger, that kind of thing into there. And then the other side pouch that matches it on this side will do stuff like a jacket or hoodie, extra clothes, extra socks, like just whatever needs I have based on the day would go into this side pouch. Right in here in this little compartment, I never go anywhere without these girls. That is my, oh boy, are those stuck. My T-Claws. So you see those in pretty much every video I post. If it's got driver in it, I'm using T-Claws. I use them in all of my events, use them in the simulator. They're super handy. So that's in that pouch. And then I've got in this one, my driver head removal tool. Obviously can't go anywhere without that with how many drivers I have and different shaft combinations. Got to be able to switch it up on the fly. So that's what's in that pouch. Let's flip the bag around and look at the last 2 pockets. All right, so we got the bag flipped around. This huge, massive pocket in behind here, I don't really use a whole ton because once I have stuff loaded in the side compartments, it gets kind of tricky to access. But in there, I'd have sunscreen or bug spray. In this main front pouch, I used to carry all of my extra balls for my long drive events for the charity tournaments. I no longer use that because it made the bag super, super heavy. So in here, if I'm not carrying like an extra pair of shoes, I've got my own branded 4-inch golf tees now for like long drive tees. I go through so many tees in training sets, in the long drive demos, the charity events, all the stuff I do. It just made sense for me to make my own. So now I've got these. If I run into anyone that recognizes me or notices me on the range or at a course or something, give them a set of tees, and I'll have those on the table at the charity events I do to give away and help raise as much money as we can for whatever charity I'm working for that day. So that's what's in that pouch. At the top pouch in here, we have golf gloves, allergy medicine, which comes in clutch. There was one event I did that my eyes got so swollen shut I couldn't see. That was a problem. And then like some pens and pencils and stuff. So that's going to be it for all of these pockets. We have one more pocket to show. Pretty important one because my tripod will go in this, which is what my phone's currently on, as well as alignment sticks. I don't use these a ton anymore, but obviously the tripod I use very frequently, so it's nice to have a specific dedicated spot for that to go. That's pretty well it for the what's in the bag walkthrough, guys. Appreciate you watching if you've made it this far. Do all that typical YouTuber stuff. I don't know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you feel like, and that'll be it for this one. So until next time, have a good one.